Shanna McCullough, born April 1st, 1960 in San Francisco, is a woman who exudes a unique blend of conservatism and wildness. One of the original stars of the Golden Age, she was right there in the thick of it. During the explosive Bay Area production run of the early 80s, known for her reputation as the good girl, McCullough's career and personal life reflect a fascinating juxtaposition that sets her apart from her peers. From the outset, McCullough's approach to her work was distinct. She maintained a clear boundary between her professional and personal life. "I was a serial monogamist," explained McCullough in a 2014 Rialto Report interview. "I didn't hang out with people in the business. I would go to work and then go home and have a really normal life." She never took any substances, and there was no childhood trauma lingering beneath the surface. She just really enjoyed the work. Born into an upper-middle-class Protestant family, McCullough's background starkly contrasts with her career path. "I went to church every Sunday," she said. Growing up in a household where the coital act was never discussed, she discovered her sexuality independently, free from the guilt often associated with conservative upbringings. Before joining the industry, McCullough's life was far from abnormal. Graduating as an honor student with a degree in accounting, she also had a passion for the arts and had been acting in school plays and local theater productions for several years. This led to a stint at film school after college. It was around this time that she saw an ad in the San Francisco Chronicle that would forever change her life. A mature film production was seeking actors. A notable naivety marked McCullough's entry into the industry. She had had only 2 partners before attending that first audition, one of which was her then-husband, who, interestingly enough, encouraged her to answer the casting call. "I'd never done any modeling or dancing," she said. "My first thing actually naked in front of people was my first scene." The production was for Nasty Lady, directed by Bob Fosse. McCullough turned up to a soundstage in San Francisco, and she was cast as an extra. The scene involved Erica Boyer performing on stage, and as a member of the audience in the mock-up bar, Fosse's direction to McCullough was, "Just have fun, do whatever you want." By the end of the scene, she was performing with 2 audience members, much of which made the final cut. Of that debut experience, McCullough said, "I realized that I was an exhibitionist and that it turned me on having all these people watching me, and I never knew that, never even thought about it before." McCullough insists that her initial involvement in mature film was driven by a sense of adventure and the thrill of personal exploration. "It was a way to fulfill your fantasy life," she says, describing the safe yet exciting environment of the early industry. Her experiences on set also allowed her to explore and affirm her bisexuality. Productions such as Young Girls Do in 1984 highlight this well, with Erica Boyer being a frequent partner in such scenes. By this time, McCullough and her first husband were divorced. During her early career, McCullough worked regularly with actor Mike Horner. Their frequent collaborations were partly due to their mutual proximity to the Bay Area. With county laws preventing filming in Los Angeles at the time, it made logistical sense for many producers to cast them. Beyond this, producers and directors appreciated her ability to handle complex dialogue and acting demands, often calling her directly for roles without the need for auditions. All of this combined made her one of the busiest performers of the era, starring in a string of hits throughout the 80s. Highlights include Deviations in 1983, the aforementioned Young Girls Do in '84, Body Girls starring Hypatia Lee in 1985, and Body Games with Nina Hartley in 1986. Talking to the Rialto Report, McCullough provides real insight into what it was like working on some of these productions. Legendary director Alex Dorenzi apparently created a unique and fun filming environment, shooting scenes at his large, beautiful home in Marine, California. She recalls the surreal experience of filming amidst the everyday chaos of his family life, and the loud squawking of Renzi's pet parrots that can still be heard in the finished films. Gary Graver, who worked under the pseudonym Robert McCallum, was one of the directors McCullough admired the most. He had worked with Orson Welles as a cinematographer, and his seriousness and commitment to quality work created a high standard for those on set. McCullough recounts an instance where she was filming at a home on the edge of Los Angeles County. The shoot was abruptly halted by a police raid. The crew and cast were sent outside into the garden, while the cops then looked through 3 hours of footage to determine whether to make any arrests. Make of that what you will. On the subject of other actors, she thought that industry stalwart Jamie Gillis could be intense to work with. but McCullough was never intimidated by his domineering approach to scenes. In fact, she very much enjoyed her role in the multi-award-winning Bobby Sox in 1996, as she was the dominatrix to Gillis's submissive, a situation that was firmly outside of his comfort zone. Overall, McCullough's career as a performer in the industry spanned nearly 2 decades, a longevity that is rare in the business. She witnessed and adapted to many changes, including the rise of live dancing and shows. As one of the pioneers in this lucrative sideline, she joined the ranks of other big names of the industry that leveraged their film popularity to draw the crowds and earn a substantial income through performances on the circuit. Despite the demanding nature of her work, and the travel involved too, McCullough managed to maintain a balanced lifestyle, often retreating into her personal life for long periods of a time. When not acting, she also took on a mentoring role, offering guidance to newer performers about the realities of the business. McCullough even found positivity in the industry's transition from film to video, a shift that was almost universally perceived as negative by other stars of the era. She felt that while film offered superior visual quality, video allowed for longer, uninterrupted takes, enhancing the flow of scenes. In 1989, Los Angeles County changed the filming laws, and with proper permits, adult productions could take place. This saw the industry move to LA, where it remains to this day. McCullough also made the move so that she was living next to the center of action. She soon noticed the stark contrast between the cultures of Northern and Southern California, preferring the former's more liberal and bohemian atmosphere. The change in location also mirrored broader shifts in the industry, with increasing competition from cosmetically enhanced actresses and a pressure for more extreme performances. Despite all of this, McCullough continued to work throughout the decade. She also leveraged the emerging internet of the late 90s by installing webcams in her West Hollywood home. This allowed paying subscribers to watch her life 24/7 via live stream. Shanna Cam, as it was called, ran for about 2 years until 2000, and in retrospect, vastly ahead of its time, capturing everything from mundane daily activities to intimate moments with her then-boyfriend. McCullough continued to work into the new millennium. However, she was becoming all the more aware that her heart wasn't in it anymore. Younger performers, often ignorant of the industry's history, dominated the scene. This generational gap made it challenging for McCullough to connect with her colleagues, leading to a sense of isolation compared to the earlier camaraderie she had enjoyed. All of this coincided with McCullough's engagement to a director and producer within the industry, and eventually she decided to retire from performing altogether. After this, McCullough worked as a production manager for 5 years. She then left the industry completely, and the last information I could find, she was working as an executive assistant while pursuing a degree in the sciences. Her legacy as a trailblazer in mature film is fixed, however. McCullough has been recognized with numerous industry awards, including the prestigious Lifetime Achievement Award from the Free Speech Coalition. These accolades serve as a testament to her long and successful career and the indelible mark that she made during the Golden Age and beyond.